So, Susan, I'm glad you asked about transparency, because it has to be across the board.
The Democratic caucus and I are demanding immediate transparency.
The American people deserve transparency.
We want transparency.
We have a responsibility to get the truth. The American people deserve that.
Because the American people have a right to know.
Well, sir, don't the voters deserve to know?
No, they don't.
We don't deserve to know? That is what makes 2020 different. Never before has political maneuvering been so hidden from the public. Never before has an election been cloaked in such lies, such deceit, and such attempted manipulation of you. Democrats, deep staters, lost 4 years ago, and emotionally they've never recovered.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
Orange Man Bad has become their unifying and uniting rallying cry.
Trump can be and must be expunged.
To take back what they believe was always theirs. And to do it by any means necessary. So we have shown you parts of their plan. But thanks to COVID-19, it all centers on mail-in voting. Oh, I'm sorry. It's now called voting at home. Because that's really what it's really all about. Enabling people to vote at home. No, it's actually not. It's really just enabling the Democrats to sow election chaos and make last-minute changes to voting rules all over the nation. They learned their lesson in 2016, and now they're leaving nothing to chance. In the final weeks before the election, this is their insurance plan. Tonight, I show you what they're doing behind the scenes to help make sure Joe Biden is the next president. Tonight, election hijacking, how the left is ensuring your vote doesn't count. Hello, America. Hello, and welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Remember how the mail-in voting is supposed to save the republic? Remember.
Voting by mail is easy, secure, and the healthiest and safest way to cast your ballot. You can vote by mail while you are socially distancing and stay at home. Just as we adapt to new norms to protect ourselves and our loved ones, we must also adapt to how we conduct our elections.
Oh, and she has so much credibility. After all, she really thinks she's the governor of Georgia. So we have to adapt how we conduct our elections this year. In probably the most important election since 1860, we're just going to change things up. That has been the Democrats' motto for the entire year. You don't get the results that you want, the regular old-fashioned election. Let's just create some new norms for voting. I mean, it's been on their to-do list forever. And COVID has become the perfect opportunity to finally get her done. So how is that adapting to new norms thing going for all of us? Well, Glenn, I'm glad you asked, because now is the perfect time to welcome you to the inaugural K-Oscar Awards. It's K-Oscar Award, recognizing the achievements in mail-in voting chaos. For example, the Every Vote Matters K-Oscar this year goes to Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, where the FBI found 9 discarded military ballots in a dumpster. A letter from the U.S. Attorney David Freed to the Luzerne County Bureau of Elections says, quote, the FBI has recovered a number of documents relating to military ballots that had been improperly opened by your election staff and had the ballots removed and discarded. The FBI also found the additional absentee ballot envelopes that were empty. So nobody knows where those ballots went. But wait, let's remember what Stacey Abrams told us. Can we see that again, please?
Voting by mail is easy, secure, and the healthiest and safest way to cast your ballot.
It really is secure. Sure. Well, not exactly. I mean, not if you're, in the military and sending your ballots to Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, because then it's not. The next K-Oscar goes to it's the Takes Two to Tango K-Oscar Award. It goes to Fairfax County, Virginia, for mailing duplicate absentee ballots to 1,400 voters. But don't worry, nothing to see here. Election officials have it all under control. They say only one of the ballots are going to be counted. I mean, unless you're a Democrat. Okay, they didn't say that, but you know they were thinking it. Officials blamed a printer problem and said people should destroy their duplicate ballot. Well, they should. Or they could just send it in to our next K-Oscar winner, which is the Texas mayoral candidate, Zul Mohammed. Not that, I don't think it's that Zul. And I think that's Zul possessing Gozer's body, isn't it? I mean, we want this show to be accurate. Anyway, Zul was arrested last week on voter fraud charges after applying for 84 absentee ballots and having them sent to a P.O. box that allegedly belongs to a nursing home. Nice try, crazy old Zul, but we want to talk to Dana. Is she in there? Next, you've got no mail, K-Oscar. This one goes to the Outagamie County, Wisconsin group. There are 3 trays of mail, which included multiple absentee ballots that were discovered in a ditch along the side of the highway. Can I ask you just a question? I mean, doesn't that seem lazy? I mean, even for a postal worker, really? I mean, can you not take the time to bury things anymore? Really? Get a shovel. I mean, you want to really get rid of ballots. Why are you using dumpsters and ditches? Use a shredder. I'm just saying. New York City wins the G.I. Schmo K-Oscar for sending voters mail-in ballots marked for military use. Yeah, that's right. New Yorkers who have never served in the military have received the ballot which says official military absentee ballot. Now, maybe there was supposed to be a slash between the words military and absentee, but voters, they're not that smart in New York. They were confused and concerned about whether they are supposed to go ahead and use the ballot, even though they've never been in the military. Over 520,000 ballots have already been sent out in the New York Election Board, and they don't have any idea how many of them contain errors. So now let's hop over to New Jersey for our next award. It's the Dumpster Diver K-Oscar, and it goes to a mailman who has been arrested for allegedly tossing 1,875 pieces of mail, including 99 election ballots, into a dumpster. Shovel man. What was that Stacey Abrams told us a minute ago? It was
Voting by mail is easy, secure.
That's right, secure. Right. Thank you. Next, New York City wins the second K-Oscar of the night. It's the You Had One Job Award, and that's for sending out 140,000 absentee ballots to the Brooklyn voters with the wrong names and addresses. Now, this one I love. These voters are supposed to complete their ballot and then put it inside the official absentee ballot envelope. Then sign the outside of the envelope and send it in. But the return envelopes have the wrong name and address. So voters can't sign them unless they want the ballot to be voided. Many voters don't have the right name on the ballot itself. And this is great. The New York Board of Elections says a printing error, again, responsible for the bad ballots. Wow, a printing error. I mean, who solved that mystery for them? One report on this said it was unclear exactly how the city planned to handle voters who had already mailed their completed ballot back in the provided envelope. Well, that is a huge red flag there, because it's exactly the kind of issue that will help fuel chaos and endless litigation all over America beginning the day after election. Next, the I See Dead People K-Oscar goes to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's right. For its new temporary rules, we're going to give them a really nice K-Oscar. They're allowing now dead people's vote to count. Before this year in Massachusetts, they allowed early voting. It started 10 days before election. But if you voted early and you died before Election Day, your vote doesn't count because you don't need representation anymore. Well, maybe you do because you're going. Anyway, Massachusetts changed the rules this year because of the pandemic. And they changed the fact that there's not 10 days, now it's 30 days before election. So if you cast your vote during that early window and then you get COVID, like 0.64% of the population, and you die, you can rest in total peace knowing that your vote will still count. America, the land of opportunity for all, even after you're dead. Now, our final K-Oscar goes to, it's so crazy, it just might work. It's a special achievement award that goes to Houston, Texas. This one for an alleged ballot harvesting and voter fraud operation that, if the allegations prove to be true, dwarfs any election-related fraud we've seen anywhere so far this year. Two private investigators, one a former FBI agent, the other a former Houston police captain, filed some sworn affidavits, and I have them right here. The Texas Supreme Court has looked at these affidavits as part of a class action lawsuit against Harris County. Now, this is a copy of the lawsuit, and I want to be able to quote directly from it so you understand what the specific allegations are. Licensed private investigators have been investigating ballot harvesting in Harris County for many months. By the way, don't worry about it. Harris County, it's very small, just includes Houston. The organization and operation of the illegal harvesting program is being used to commit fraud in the November 3rd, 2020 election. According to the investigators, witnesses have identified Harris County Commissioner. You gotta be kidding me. Rodney Ellis, did you do this? Also, Texas State Senator Boris Miles. My name is Boris. I've got to be bad. They're leading an organization tasked with harvesting the ballots. The investigators further state that witnesses have identified Houston businessman Gerald Womack and political consultant Dallas Jones as lieutenants working directly under Commissioner Ellis and Senator Miles. Now, what does that mean? Hey, before I get into that, it's a really weird coincidence. In September, Dallas Jones, one of the lieutenants, yeah, he was hired by the Joe Biden campaign to be the Texas political director. What are the odds? He's doing that and he's committing fraud? Come on. Ellis, did you do that too? This is a copy of the affidavit here that I have. It's from one of the private investigators. It's Mark Agari, I think. I don't know how to say it. He doesn't watch. He doesn't care. Here it is. I have in my possession videotaped interviews of witnesses attesting to the aforementioned people having groups of people completing thousands of absentee and mail-in ballots, including completing ballots for deceased individuals illegally. Then they say they're going to nursing homes. With the complicity of the nursing home staff, they fill these out, forge the signatures of the nursing home residents, signing up homeless individuals to vote using ballot harvester's address, and then completing the ballot and forging the homeless individual's signature. Is that a problem for anybody? It's America, bada bing. Gotta do things you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? This from the affidavit of the second private investigator. You're going to love this. Another witness stated to me that the employee of Commissioner Ellis, Tyler James, had bragged that he could guarantee that the illegal ballot harvesting operation, with the help of the mail-in ballots, could harvest, get this, 700,000 illegal ballots. Well, that's fantastic. Unless you're looking for the rule of law or a fair election. This one is a developing story here in Texas, but regardless with what ends up actually happening or being proven in Houston in that scheme, Democrats are leaving nothing to chance this November. Now, that's just scratching the surface of what they're doing all around the country. Next, I want to show you how they're working overtime to change voting rules all across the nation for you.